The Super Mario Bros. Movie is an animated adventure film based on Nintendo's video game franchise. While working underground to fix a water main, Brooklyn plumbers and brothers, Mario and Luigi, are transported down a mysterious pipe and wander into a magical new world. When the brothers become separated, Mario embarks on an epic quest to find Luigi. This movie came out over a year ago, and yet it's already been forgotten. I think some people might challenge me on this, but this movie disappointed me. I've been a huge Mario fan my whole life, but you can't just woo me with references for 90 minutes. Look, I'm not that kind of fan. I know a lot of people are, but I just feel like I can play the games to see all of those things. If it's a movie, I want something more. I'm watching a movie so I can see a movie. You know, a real movie, not a 90-minute advertisement for the games that I've already played. This is not a bad movie, but it's unnecessarily weak. I know a lot of people share my opinion, but I feel like a lot of people are really enjoying this movie. And look, that's a good thing. I don't want to rain on anybody's parade, but it's just inevitable that people are going to tell me that my expectations were too high and say, well, what did you expect from a Mario movie? But I just reject those assessments. Why go easy on the movie? People have waited years for this. My expectations weren't even high, I would say. I just wanted some manner of a narrative that felt earned in any way, shape, or form. I wanted it to earn its stripes, to win me over. Not to just assume that it has me from the get-go because it's Mario. I expect from a Mario movie what I expect from any movie. I expect a story that has compelling twists and turns, interesting character relationships and conflicts that build and grow throughout the film, leading to satisfying and intriguing conclusions. It is not much to ask, to be honest. Of course, the film looks great. The detail in the animation is impressive. For example, the follicles and dimples in characters' faces. They don't do anything interesting with the animation stylistically like a Puss in Boots 2 or a Spider-Verse does, but the colours are perfect and the slight grain on the image brings out the detail and it makes it feel more tangible and alive. The voice acting is also good. People were worried about that going in, but it's the least of my worries, if I'm honest. I have no real problem with any of the voices. Could you have cast better voice actors? Probably. But they settled in fine, and I wasn't thinking about it throughout the movie. And let's just say now, Anya Taylor-Joy would actually be the perfect live-action Peach too. My biggest issue is that the film is just so inoffensive and as forgettable as possible. It takes no risks. Look, I'm not asking for extreme risks, but, some risks, not just completely safe. It feels so safe that it's like AI generated. It brings nothing new to the table, which means it failed to justify its existence. It should have been 20 minutes longer to flesh things out more. It's so keen to wrap things up at the end that they don't actually conclude any of their character relationships, or hint at expanding them in a sequel. They don't even hint at a sequel. But there's going to be. The characters are in line with their game counterparts, but they make no attempt to really expand them. When there is a lot of potential to do so, they're literally paper-thin characters. You can go so many places, you're not bound by any real prior characterization. Honestly, the Super Smash Bros. Brawl campaign had a way better characterization and there wasn't even any real dialogue. They did it a hell of a lot better. I can't figure out what the message or core of the film is meant to be other than just shoving a million things on screen, overloading my eyes and brain with Easter eggs to ultimately sell more games. And people acted like the Star Wars prequels were shoving a million things on screen to sell toys. Well, wait till you see this movie. Like, honestly though, I don't get it. I'm already a fan. That's why I'm here. You don't need to sell me more games. I already play Mario. I'm coming to the movie for a different experience. This is a film. but there's no filmmaking vision. I'm not coming to the cinema to go, wow, look at that, that's me. Oh wow, I feel seen. I feel heard, I feel validated, that's my thing, I know that. Hey, I get that reference. The film industry is not a business, it is an art form first and foremost. No art, no business. Naturally, Mario and Luigi's relationship should be the core of this film, but it's very surface level. They never attach you emotionally. Peach is probably the best character, but we never get any real expansion upon her position as Princess of Mushroom Kingdom, or her history and journey of how she got there, and there is stuff there worth going into. They also fail to manifest anything endearing between her and Mario. I mean, really, like people have been shipping them for decades, they have so much opportunity to really blossom something there. Bowser is pretty good, and Toad was enjoyable, but once again, underdeveloped. For a series that has such a rich musical history, with so many amazing pieces of music from many different games, the choice to use commercial songs for much of the runtime was cheap, and it took me out of it. This film should have had a fully fledged score written for it that drew from many of the games and melded them into something new and fresh that had a consistent vibe throughout. Using commercial songs made it feel like another generic kids movie like Minions or Trolls, but this doesn't need to be just a movie for kids to veg out to because it's crazy and colourful. Those kinds of movies, really they shouldn't exist at all anyway. Kids aren't idiots, their intelligence should be respected, and a film aimed at them should take the opportunity to teach them something or to appeal to them emotionally. Pixar has proved time and time again that you need a compelling story with layered characters. They have proved that you can create stuff that has heart and is legitimately educational and even life-changing for children and by extension adults. Examples include Inside Out, Finding Nemo, and Toy Story. Take away the Mario skin and references and you have no movie here. But take away Inside Out's skin of emotion characters and you still have a movie about family, the struggles of growing up, and understanding yourself. Take away Finding Nemo's skin of talking fish, and you still have a powerful story about the lengths a father will go to for his child. Take away Toy Story's skin of living toys, and you still have a story about jealousy, the progression of society, friendship, and learning to be humble and empathetic. See my point? Even the dialogue in this Mario movie is totally underwritten and completely lacking in any charm, reason, or insight. You can't say the same for Pixar. They have many profound, hilarious, and memorable lines of dialogue. These are the reasons I still revisit those films years and years later. But it's not just Pixar. The same can be said for Studio Ghibli and a decent handful of DreamWorks movies. I don't feel compelled to ever watch this Mario movie again. Each sequence seems to build around referencing a particular game, whether it's Luigi's Mansion, Mario Kart, Donkey Kong Land, the list goes on. It seems that the plot just exists to connect us from reference to reference, and that gets a bit tiresome to watch for 90 minutes. Oh, we'll go to this kind of Donkey Kong Land place where, they make the carts, and that's like Mario Kart. We'll connect those two references together just so we can have this one little gag about someone going in a cart and slipping on a banana peel. Because the Donkey Kong characters eat bananas. That's kind of what we're dealing with here. That's not investing enough. Oh wow, look at that. Hey, I know that. Nostalgia tends to only work on me if it's integrated into the story in some kind of meaningful way that feels earned, holds weight and relevance, or is subverted and expanded. Spider-Man No Way Home is a good example, and even Star Wars The Force Awakens. I can't believe I'm going to say it, but at least the 90s Mario movie tried to do something. Don't get me wrong, this new one is far and away superior to that. The 90s movie failed in every conceivable way, but it tried to do something. This new film, the whole thing just washes over you. It doesn't try. I enjoyed it enough while watching it, but felt nothing the second the credits rolled. And I know as a big Mario fan that this series has so much more cinematic potential than that. I know it. I've known it my whole life. And that's why I won't settle for something so low effort. I should be able to show this film to someone who has never played Mario, or someone who doesn't know Mario, if those people exist, and they should adore it. This movie should enrich the series and characters so much that when you play the games after seeing it, you think of it, and you see the movie versions of the characters. It should enhance the series. They become infused together. It means that people who've never played the games before will want to play the games. They're not even gamers, but they love the movie and the characters so much that they want to play the games. That's what it should be, and it's possible to make that movie. Give me one good reason why it is not. It has been done before with other properties. No, the movie is not bad. I know it probably sounds like I'm saying it's bad, but I'm just saying that it could be so much more than what it was. It's not a bad movie, but it could have been better, and really, there was no excuse for it not to be. Look, I don't usually rip into films like this, but I was very lukewarm on this movie. Like I said, it's not offensive. Kids will like it. It's worth seeing if you want to see it and if you're a fan, and if you liked it, then great. I mean, it's certainly enjoyable, and if all you were looking for was to turn your brain off for 90 minutes, then that's going to work for you. But this just wasn't what I personally wanted from a Mario movie. I didn't hate the experience. It's perfectly watchable. It's like cinematic fast food. And hey, if that pleases you, that's fine. I'm just hoping that when they do more sequels, that maybe we'll get something a little bit more interesting. Maybe they'll expand the characters a little bit more. If you'd like to see more videos about films, then check out what's on my channel or subscribe for future videos. Thanks for listening.